Big night in the NHL. Game 1, Big Cats Lightning. Game 2, Ottawa Toronto. Game 2, Carolina New Jersey. Game 2, Vegas Minnesota. Timestamps are below. Let's get after it. Maple Leafs Senators, overtime banger. Leafs survive 3-2. They take both their games at home. They do exactly what they're supposed to do, win both at home, but Ottawa has gotten progressively better, and that's a good thing for Ottawa and Ottawa Senators fans as they're taking this series back home to the nation's capital. Early on in the game, you see the Leafs getting here down low. Austin Matthews in a beautiful forecheck. Remember, forechecks are defensive plays because we don't have the puck. He gets caught on the wrong side. He makes a little bit too aggressive of a hit, but that's no matter because we have puck support. As Matthew Nyes comes through for puck support, what do we see here? We see 5 Senators, 2 Leafs. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to take this puck away. Ottawa needs to start learning. You got to send one guy down low over there to cover Matthews, and you got to send another guy over here to outnumber. Heck, you can even send the other guy over here. You got to create 2-on-1s. You have a singular 2-on-1 over here, but it's just way too easy of a bump pass back to Matthews. Defensive structures notwithstanding, Nyes is unable to get it through there. He is hyper-checked, but then he bashes it out to the front of the net, and bang, absolutely massive save there by Ullmark. However, it's here at the 16:22 mark where things start going wrong for Ottawa. Take a look again. No good puck support. They need to fix this. If you're going to aggressively press over here, just as we see, you need to make sure you have puck support. He doesn't have it. It's way too far away. That's fine. The puck comes low here, but what do we see again? We see that puck support backing away. What? Why? I don't understand this. You need to get aggressive and you need to support. And you need to start creating these 2-on-1s in the defensive zone. That's the whole point of defensive zone structures. But they don't, and they allow Nylander to do Nylander things, which is just be an absolute G and make unbelievable cuts and plays. And you can't expect someone to beat a guy of that skill, anyone, one-on-one when he has his head up and you don't have the position. And they don't. So this is not on the single man, but Nylander is going to feed this across to Morgan Rielly, who is now snuck in the back end. And what upsets me about this, if you're a Senators fan, is why does he get to sneak in the back end? The entire point of this defensive structure that we see here is to prevent the sneak in on the back end. But he doesn't. He's in poor defensive side positioning here. He's not between his goalie and the man. The puck is now trickling into the back of the net, and it goes in. And that's not what you want to see if you're Ottawa, but they started to tighten it up a little bit later in the series. You got to create 2-on-1s or you're never going to catch the speedy, more skilled Leafs. Now the Leafs power play, Leafs penalty kill, I thought was absolutely brilliant today. Really nice save here by Stolarz. Like, unbelievable. The guy had another fantastic game. Look, once again, we're on the wrong side of the puck, but I want you to take a look. I've been complaining about this since the start of the playoffs. Take a look at McCabe. He does the right thing here. All right, the shot has gone through. Whack. Huge slash there. That's fine. Why is that the right thing? Because he didn't push him into his own goalie with a stupid cross check. How many times have we seen that already in the playoffs? We're only on game 2. Great job by McCabe. And then McCabe does it again here. Look, he's between the goalie and the puck. He eats a cross check. No big deal. And then he switches. He switches to deliver the cross check. I love that. This keeps people away from your goalie. He doesn't interfere with Stolarz. The puck ends up going out in front. Really nice attempt at a block. And there it is again. I understand it's probably a little bit of a trip here, but once again on the kill, you're not throwing guys into your own net. And then one more time here, Stolarz being Stolarz, absolutely weathering the storm. This puck ends up crossing the Royal Road, and then bang, it's an absolute quick snapshot. Little bit of a juicy rebound here, though. A little bit ugly, but once again, the Leafs penalty killers are on it, and they survive. This allows the Maple Leafs to move into their own power play. They've weathered the storm at this point in time. The 5 forwards are out here, and what we see here is Nylander making a really nice pass across the ice. But more interestingly, what we see is an overload. We don't see this a lot. So that puck moves in a unique bumper position, and this is the point of the overload. You don't just have to go over here. They've now baited this man right here the wrong way, and he ends up moving that puck down low to the bumper position, who then goes up to the point. What that does is cause confusion. You can see that little arm motion here. Just take a look. Look at number 12. Hugo. And no, that's not Hugo. Boss or Juice. But that puck ends up moving down the half wall, and that little bit of confusion now turns it into a nasty little 2-on-1 down low. There's 1, 2, here's your 1. The Senators player is taking away the high spot, but he's not technically a threat here. That's why this is a 2-on-1 and not a 2-on-2. Puck goes across the crease. It ends up going in. Big goal by the Leafs. Now, after the Riley and Tavares goal, we got to talk about the Ridley Grigg situation. Ridley Grigg. Here he is battling with Stolarz, and I think Stolarz was right in this scenario. The first thing I want you to notice is that Carlo doesn't push him into Stolarz. Grigg is waiting for that. He's in the blue paint. He's an absolute pain in the butt. And take a look at how he sticks his stick between his legs and pulls backwards. He pulls Grigg off of Stolarz. He doesn't throw him into him. So somebody's been listening to Hot Garbage Sports. As Grigg gets up, though, I love when goalies do this. Get out of my crease. Like, just get out of here. So he backs in. And he gets another shot. Well, all right, no penalty yet. Almost goes in. Grigg almost does his job there. That little deflection almost gets in. And then I love it. Boxes him out. No, you're not coming through. I have a crease to deal with. Gives him a push. Stolarz remembers this. He understands. Whack. Huge slash to the knee. Love that again by Stolarz. And then you all know what's coming next. He wholesales him for a penalty. So he remembers that Grigg ran him. He remembers that Grigg is Grigg. This guy is a walking menace. And there was no reason for Grigg to have to go back through his crease. So for Ottawa fans, I can tell you right now, I was a pest in hockey. I understand exactly what this man is doing. It is all very purposeful. It's part of the game. Stolarz isn't going to take it. He hits him. He takes a penalty. I don't know if it should be a call. This is the weird thing about the NHL and the playoffs. I don't know what's a call and not a call. I don't know when you protect a goalie and don't protect a goalie. I don't know when defensemen can protect goalies. I'm frankly very confused these days. So overall, I think Stolarz has to send a message. You're up a game. You're up 2 goals. If this guy wants to come through, level him. That's fine. You got to let him know he doesn't get free runs. And for Grigg himself, I don't consider him in the top echelon of guys that I admire who do this for a living in terms of being a pest or an agitator. I really do like the Tkachuk's games for the most part. I really like Brad Marchand's game for the most part. Corey Perry's game for the most part. These are guys that aren't trying to technically injure people when they do it. They're just annoyances. They're human pests. They grab you. Like when people were so egregious about the Brad Marchand licking thing or whatever he did, that's not breaking a man's neck. That's not putting a man in a wheelchair. And when these guys do something stupid, they're the first guys to turn around and fight in a clean, line it up, not run you and elbow you in the back of the head. Grigg ain't that guy. He's the first guy to get a high stick in your teeth. He's the first guy to hit you from behind. He's the first guy to throw a chicken wing and an elbow. I got Grigg right up there with guys like Matt Cook, Rafi Torres, Nazem Kadri. Like they're all just in this same grouping of they say they're pests, but really they're just dudes that get suspensions and they're dudes that don't learn. So I'm not a Grigg fan, but I am a huge fan of pests and annoyance in the NHL. I'm really picky sometimes. You guys all know at this point, I'm a big sucker for a goal off a face-off. It's a terrible camera angle before here, so we can't see the draw because we need to see these guys' feet. But it's a really nice tie-up. The winger comes in, picks up the puck, and ends up moving it back to the point who settles into their 1-3-1. That 1-3-1 fakes the push over to the left side. You end up moving it over on the strong side. I'm not sure why he bit to that. I mean, it's as a left-handed shot up on the point. Of course, he's going to go to the right side. That's just his forehand. Like, it's very unlikely he goes to the left, but hey, that's me. That moves into the shooter spot. The shooter ends up going down, moving it into the bumper spot in front of the net. It's a nice box out, and he's going to try to sneak it into his player, but unfortunately, it bounces off the Leafs, off Carlo, into the back of the net. And that all starts with a great draw, a great face-off win, and great positioning. And I love goals off face-off because these are set plays. These are practiced all the time. It's one of the few things a coach has control of is getting the players set up for plays like that immediately after draws. Now, Ottawa's D zone may not have been that good at the beginning, but their forecheck is phenomenal. Here's their 2-1-2. You're going to go ahead and angle them off to the boards, and then you're going to take an angle over here to try to pinch off the Leafs defenseman behind the net and turn over a puck. We see him take that path. We see him force it. And what happens? It's a reverse. No big deal. The puck goes this way. That's why a 2-1-2 is so good, because you bring your one, the first two are already caught. They're now on the wrong side of the ice, and you're going to pick up the loose puck from reverses. There we go. And then we filter right back into a 2-1-2. There's the 2, there's the 1, and the other 2 are the defensemen hanging high. That puck ends up moving to the point. It's a quick clapper. It beats Stolarz on a redirection, but this all starts because of the forecheck. And if you want to know more about it, our sponsor, Hockey Tactics 2025, teaches you this. You can see it. Here's your 2 guys in your forecheck. Here's your 3rd guy who is up high. This is almost set up in a little bit of a 2-3. But if you ever want to learn more about all your favorite teams, the link is down low in the description. You can pick yourself up a copy, start learning hockey better. Speaking of Hockey Tactics, you have 4 Leafs here, and they get caught. No good puck support, but don't worry. Stolarz, big glove save. This game's going into overtime because of that guy. And in overtime, it's the opposite that happens. So here you have a 2-on-2 with really good back pressure. Your job at this point now should be bumping this in, carrying it in left and wide, or rimming it all the way around the board so your 3rd player can set up over here to pick up that puck. Unfortunately, young Senators don't make that call. He carries it and forces it through 2 players, which is an easy read and pickup here for the Leafs. Benoit is gone. Nice interception. Domi picks it up, gets a favorable bounce. Skilled, little more than the old man, cuts it across the Royal Road that we talk about all the time, and bang, beats Allmark. Game over, Leafs take it. Nothing to panic though if you're Ottawa. Ottawa has done exactly what they needed to do. They progressed in this series. They're getting their playoff legs under them. The Leafs just did what they're supposed to do. They won 2 at home. If they pick one off in Ottawa, it's likely their series. But hey, let's all not forget the Habs-Leafs series before, or the Leafs-anyone series for the last 10 years. That aside, if the Leafs pick up one in Ottawa, it should be done deal. Ottawa just needs to win their 2 at home. They've built on this. They've learned how to play. They just have to convert their chances in the first period if they want to go ahead and beat the Leafs. They have to withstand the storm of the high-skilled players, and they got to find a way to beat Big Cats Lightning. Meow! I took a lot of heat from Lightning fans on this channel. They're all over saying we undervalued the Lightning when we ranked them number 12 in team strength. I get it. They're number 1 in so many categories, and they're the Lightning. But there's 3 things going on here. Number 1, the Lightning dynasty. There is a tiny asterisk to it. They won it in the COVID year. They won it in the shortened year. There is a bit of one there. There's still championships, though. I'm not taking it away. Number 2, they've aged. That's all right. We all age, and they're still a very good team. And number 3, the Florida Panthers are the Florida Panthers. They are the champs till they are not, and they are the most aggressive team in the playoffs. We saw it here tonight. Many Panthers goals start in their own zone because Paul Maurice is a very disciplined defensive-first coach. They win the battle here. They chip it out. Bad pinch there by McDonough, and the Big Cats are off to the race. It's a quick little reach-in. It's a one-on-one. They get caught. The rookie ends up batting over a little bit of a knuckleball over here to Bennett, who picks it out of mid-air to beat Vasilevsky. Wow, that is an indicator of how the rest of this night will go. In their own zone again. What happens? Bang and forecheck. Boom. Big body there in the bottom corner. All right, here is aggression like I haven't seen from anyone but a Paul Maurice team. There are 4 Panthers coming in here now. Now, I don't mind this because, sure, if it squirts out to anyone over here on the Bolts, you're in trouble, but you still got to get it through 4 guys. So we have body pin, and instead of worrying about who's going to get the puck, send them all. I love this play by the Panthers. I love hyper aggressiveness. They all go in there. Bang, boom, huge body check. I mean, really, it's a 3-on-1. What are you going to do with that? It ends up turning the puck over. It's heading out here to the point. This should be a simple play, but look how fast they close the gap to go ahead and make that tip. Bobrovsky with a big save. The Panthers are first on the puck. They're not only hyper-aggressive to hits, they're hyper-aggressive to loose pucks. And I think that tells the biggest story of this game. We want the puck. We want it quick. And if you get the puck, we're going to make you pay for it. The difference with them, though, than other teams that are playing from behind, say like New Jersey, Ottawa, St. Louis, is it's controlled from Florida. Every hit and every play has a purpose and a place. They're not doing it out of desperation or because they're the underdogs. They're doing it to, as they would say in the show Shoresy, set the tone. This is the part of the game before it became out of reach, and we love to talk about Nikita Kucherov. He's one of the best in the world. Nikita Kucherov does 2 things. He does a slap pass and he does a shot. When that puck ends up coming up to him near the top, you're going to see he moves it in and he's going to fake shoot it. This has been well documented across the NHL now, and you can see at the position he's pointing his stick following that arrow that it's going to be a pass to the bottom right. You can also see Bobrovsky looking to see who's got the puck. It's likely well scouted. He knows it's Kucherov, and he's going to anticipate the pass. It doesn't make it any less deadly, though, because as it comes across, Bob finds it. Gensel can't put it in. Big save. Before we take the victory lap, though, draw. We love face-offs on this channel. We talk about it all the time. Hedman drags it over, and he's going to hit Kucherov. And you can see as well, Bobrovsky now is squared up to Hedman. And now the question is Kuch going to shoot or is Kuch going to pass? Well, look at the angle of his stick. It's closer to his body now. It's not angled out looking at any kind of pass. Bobrovsky noticed that. He squares up. He finds the puck. It's a save. I mean, what a great shot, though, by Kuch. But Gunsel puts it in the back of the net. Hey, even when you know it's coming, to stop one of the best players in the world, it's a tall task. Goal number 2, Barkov. Known for defense, known for offense, really known for face-offs. Watch him beat 2 guys here on this draw. As that puck comes down, he boxes out very impressively, and he keeps that puck in the middle, and he fends off not 1, not 2, even Victor Hedman, a big man, but 3 defenders there from Tampa Bay. He wins it, pokes it back to the point. This is still a set play because it's coming off face-off. They know what they're going to do, and they decide on this one to do a hard rim around the boards. This changes the angle of the game completely. Length and width, everybody gets out of sorts at this point in time. As it makes it all the way around, again, the hyper-aggressive Florida Panthers. 2 guys beat 4 to the puck. They let that puck go up to the point. As soon as that puck's up to the point, they put it on net. Quick little tip into the back. And these were plays we were pointing out from the Bolts a few years ago. That's why I was a little nervous about them in this series. I don't know. I just feel like Florida's taken over. More heavy forechecking here from the Big Cats. Marchand already delivering a cross-check. That puck moves behind the net after the Marchand cross-check. And look, we're looking for another big booming body check. It's not an out-of-control body check, though. Remember, there's a purpose to this. That body check forced a rushed play up the wall, and that rushed play up the wall allowed the 3rd forward from Florida to close that gap. Bennett. That puck comes out to Marchand. Quick little shot. Now they have control of the puck. Stab it away from Vasilevsky, and it's Nate Schmidt, the former Winnipeg Jet, back with Paul Maurice, put in the back of the net. Controlled aggression with a purpose. Not just to play catch-up, but to separate man from puck and cause turnovers. That's why we throw big hits. But let's do it again here on the power play. The kid ends up winning this puck battle, moves it down low to Barkov. The Bolts are caught. There's nothing wrong with what the Bolts did here. They thought they had a loose puck. They thought they had a puck fumble. It ends up going down low, and then we see something almost childish, but a really nice play. It's Tkachuk in front of the net, and it's dangle, dangle, dangle. Triple deke time beats Vasilevsky. It's Barkov with the puck. Same idea as Tkachuk. Dangle, dangle, dangle. He's alone. Doesn't end up putting it in. Tkachuk finds the puck as it squeezes back out. He puts it in. These guys just look like they're having fun. They're playing loose. They're playing free. When Tkachuk came back, you knew this was going to be a completely different series. It was really interesting to see Marchand stay on line 3. I think that was the right call. Pull the young guy up to line 2, play him with Bennett, play him with Tkachuk, get a little bit of east-west, get a little bit of skill on that line, and give Lundell the support of the veteran in Marchand. Overall, it's one game. 0 panic from the Lightning. You know you're going to get no panic from John Cooper. You know you're going to get no panic from anybody on the Bolts. They're just going to come back for game 2. Florida stole a game here. I was going to say they were supposed to win one. Florida stole a game at home from Tampa Bay. But really, Tampa Bay, the wily vets, I still think this one's going to go to 7, but that's a big statement game by the Florida Panthers. There were a lot of statement games, though, in game 1 that tightened up in game 2. Speaking of those statement games, New Jersey, Carolina. Carolina walked all over New Jersey last game, but New Jersey came back better and more prepared this game. Very similar to Ottawa. That's why I think Tampa Bay will bounce back next time. They became hyper-aggressive on the forecheck. They forechecked with purpose, the Devils did, and it really put Carolina on their toes. Carolina eked it out 3-1 on the back of a great goalie performance by Freddie Anderson, the guy that apparently was this close to a Vezina now nobody likes. Being a goalie is so hard. People just don't appreciate you. It's just, what have you done for me recently? But you know what? That's how it goes. When you're paid millions of dollars to stop pucks between the pipes, you're expected to stop pucks between the pipes and not have a sub 900 save percentage. But we got to taste the old Freddie Anderson today. And we got a rejuvenated Devils team trying to bring a fight to Carolina. Really hyper aggressive here. Jesper Bratt ends up putting it in. It's a big play behind the net. A quick shot on Freddie Anderson, who makes a great save. And now we have a 2-on-2 battle. This isn't as pretty as most teams out there, but Jersey ends up coming up with the puck. They end up creating time and space here. They throw another puck on net, and they have to go right back to that aggressive forecheck. As that puck rims around the boards, who's on the puck first? Carolina. Who takes away the puck? New Jersey. New Jersey's puck again. They put another puck on net. All right, that puck's loose one more time. What are we going to do? It's Brent Burns. No, it isn't. It's a forced turnover. He puts it to nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And this is what happens when you get hyper aggressive on forechecks. You cause teams to make mistakes. Bang, we're in on it again. Look at the system. Look at these guys flow. It is like they are just replacing each other. Now we're going to go over to this side. We're just on the other side. They're not getting control of the puck, but they're not losing control of the puck either. And this is exhausting for a team. You can see, look, forced turnover. Terrible play there. That's okay. We're not picking on Jersey. They're tired. Another forced turnover up the half wall. Is it getting out of the zone? Nope. Another turnover. That's fine. We carry it out of the zone. And now, oh, please, just let us get a change. For the love of Pete. No, we turn it over again. And not only do you get tripped, but you make a play from your knees. This puck should be out of the zone. It's stick on puck again. Nope. Sheer will by Jersey to stay alive in this series and get some of it back. Freddie Anderson with another save. I'm exhausted calling this play. And then finally, the rebound goes in the back of the net. That was 9 takeaways and forced turnovers in 47 seconds. This is what you have to do to win a series if you're Jersey. I'm really glad they woke up. The other challenge for this play is that Carolina plays man-to-man D-zone coverage. If you're a football fan on this channel, and you might be if you're from Carolina, man-to-man doesn't work in hockey, in my opinion. Rod Brindamore is a phenomenal coach, but what makes man-to-man hard is that you have to switch a lot. You have to take a forward who is used to covering a zone above the hash marks, say a defenseman, and now sometimes with switches from the offensive team, you might find himself down low and below the goal line. Well, that's awkward. Don't really play there that much. Defensemen, when they're playing man-to-man, may have to follow their man up near the point. Well, that's awkward. I don't really play there that much. I prefer playing zone coverage. I think that's the way to go, but it's worked for Carolina. They're one of the best defensive teams in the NHL. You got to have a lot of brains to play that, so I give a lot of credit to the players, but it can also be exploited when you get tired and forced to run around here, and maybe Carolina's figured something out. I mean, maybe New Jersey has figured something out. Carolina always has something figured out. They're a good team. Carolina is doing their best New Jersey impression here. You can see on the screen, they've had nearly 38 seconds of zone time. 3 players up high. This is called the 2-3 when you have 3 players up high. You only have 2 players down here. You had 3 back here and up high. It's a very defensive forecheck that puts you in positions like this for Carolina to create odd man rushes with guys coming in late. Quick little pass across the Royal Road. Absolutely beautiful save there by Markstrom, but tough on the rebound. They end up putting it home. It's Goss to spare, 1-1. Same thing here. Unrelenting attack by Carolina. They end up having the 3 up high. It was 3 down low, but they get back to 3 up high. They throw a puck in on net. They think they got it. Spoiler alert, they don't. Markstrom saves it, doesn't cross the line. Now here's something you don't see every day. You don't see a team shorthanded in their own defensive zone working with 3 men against 2. They end up winning the draw, and through winning the draw, they end up trapping 3 players from New Jersey down low, and it's all horses on the race. So now, even though you're down a man, you've actually outnumbered them at this point in the game. You got 1, 2, 3 taking all 3 lanes, and if you can keep some straight line speed and not let any of those back checkers catch you, you can create 2-on-1s, just like this. Quick little bump out to the wall, and now we have a 2-on-1. We have 1, 2, and here's our 1. Yeah, there's a back checker, but he's too far back right now. If you keep up the speed, you'll continue to keep this as a 1-on-1. He's on the wrong side of the puck. They don't need to. They slash into the middle. It's a quick shot on goal, and it goes in the back of the net. This one isn't on the goalie either. The goalie has come out. Markstrom's done well. He's cut the angle off to the best of his ability. He also has to have this big angle because he has to be able to take away the rest of this net if that puck does end up getting passed across the rest of it. But sometimes shots just go in bar down, and that one did go in bar down. There's nothing you can do if you can pick a corner that close as a shooter. You can have all the great angles you want as a goalie. It's going in the back of the net. Now, Freddie Anderson, like I said, puck goes across the Royal Road. Bang, Freddie Anderson. Puck is loose behind Freddie Anderson here right now. It is an absolutely diving save by the man in front of the net. Keeps it out. There's players in his net. Don't worry. Gives him a little pat on the backside. And he is literally crawling over a player to get back in position to make a save. Second period, New Jersey's pressuring again. Beautiful low to high play. Amazing save by Anderson. Second amazing save by Anderson on the rebound. Carolina comes back, helping their goalie out. And then one more time for good measure, that puck comes across the Royal Road and bang, it's Freddie Anderson. So it's really interesting. The juggernaut Carolina Hurricanes that outshot the heck out of the New Jersey Devils looked like it was going to be a quick one. Lots of fans in the comments below saying, hey, might be a quick one. Turns around, hyper-aggressive forechecks by New Jersey. The only reason they don't end up winning or getting more goals in that game is because Freddie Anderson stands on his head, which ironically is the only weakness Carolina Hurricane fans think they have. And maybe he hasn't had the greatest year, but this is a former Vezina Trophy candidate. It's formerly one of the better goalies in the NHL. I really like him. Veteran goaltenders don't really completely age out or fall off. They just have a few bad seasons. And if he's going to turn it around now, that spells great news for Carolina. New Jersey, however, has lost 2 on the road, which isn't a huge deal. It's not good to be down 2 in a series, but you're about to take this home. You have to take both of yours at home. Then you can worry about stealing one in Carolina, and they have progressively gotten better in this game than they did in the last one. If they have found the code to limit the Carolina Hurricane shots and they can find a way to solve Anderson, I think Jersey can steal 2 games here away from this series. I still think it's Carolina's, but I think New Jersey might make it a little bit closer than people think. Minnesota Wild, Vegas Golden Knights, 1-1. The Wild steal one on the road. That's massive for the Wild with only 17 shots. Like, woof. But that's how Minnesota has to play hockey. They have to play it defensively. They have to survive the onslaught from Vegas. They have to use that first line and their superstars like Eriksson Ek and Kirill Kaprizov, and they have to find ways to score when they get those opportunities, especially from the D zone. And here they are in the D zone. That puck is bounced out in a rebound, and now you've caught the Vegas Golden Knights, a whole bunch of them, on their heels. Taking a little play out of the Edmonton Oilers book, we see them absolutely slash. We're gone. Got to get out of the zone. We know we have puck control. It's a quick little flip up, whack away all you want at the puck. That's not what you want to do. I love what he's doing here. He's just pushing the puck, keeping him in front. The defender is looking not to take a penalty by getting on his hands, but it's a little bit too late. I think Hill should have had that one. Doesn't matter. Puck's in the back of the net. Foligno and Hartman come right back here to score the second goal, and look at that little body check. Marcus Foligno is a bit of a nasty player to play against. That's not on the head. It's just a quick little check. They end up breaking it up, causing a turnover at the line. That turnover at the line leads to a harmless puck carry-in, and you should win this battle if you're Vegas. I mean, you have 4 players against 3, so you actually have the 2-on-1 in your favor. But they're going to move it out to the front of the net. They're going to lose them. Bad bounce of the puck. Bad test of luck. Bad position by the Vegas Golden Knights. They put another one in on Hill. What can I say? Sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and sometimes the best defense generates the best offense. Another goal starting from your own zone. Critical to go ahead and win in the playoffs. It's a big body check. He spins off it. He takes that massive hit to get the puck out of the zone. It's now a 2-on-1. This should be a simple regroup. The stick is in the middle. No turnover yet, but it's unfortunately a little bit of a puck fumble. I don't know if you can see it here, but that puck has just flipped over his stick. It's a bit of a knuckler. If Vegas didn't have bad luck today, they'd have no luck. It's like the house is rigged against them. It's a quick little pass late to the game. Hill's left out to dry again. It's 3-0. And then finally, in the second period, it's Kaprizov. It's just a quick little D-to-D pass, and the puck blows up off of his stick. Like, it's just wild. You can see it here if you missed it. Bang! It's gone. And then a fourth goal from excellent D-zone pressure. It's Kaprizov in all alone. And what is he doing here? Take a look at his head. He is looking off the goaltender. He's looking off Hill. He's threatening pass. There's no pass here. There's no world where this is a pass. This is a world where you get into the middle here and you take a shot. But it's those little things that trick a goalie. He goes from not looking at the net to looking at the net, and it ends up in the back of the net. Now, here's a little lesson for folks at home about goal scorers. When goal scorers are looking off you or not looking at the net, they have already gone out and they have mapped spots on the ice, on the boards, up in the air, up over here. They just understand where they are in time and space. They have markers all over the ice, and these markers tell them where to shoot. It could be a piece of glass. It could be a light bulb. It could be where fans are sitting. They've picked something out in warm up. They've looked at their ice. They understand what they're doing in opponents' buildings and their own building. They just get where they are. They almost don't even need to see the net in order to put pucks in. And I think this is such a great example by Kaprizov. The look off, he knew where the net was. He snuck it through the 5-hole. And to me, that's the game. I mean, I get it. It's the second period at that point. How are you shutting down and going home here? Well, the shots are 11-10. Nothing is going right for Vegas. Everything is blowing up off sticks. That's 4 goals that have been generated by turnovers, bad bounces, all caused by amazing pressure by the Minnesota Wild. And this is how the Minnesota Wild play hockey. They play in their own zone. They play hyper defensive. They put you to sleep. They bore you to sleep. They make you feel like you have a false sense of security, and then they strike. This has been entwined in Minnesota hockey for quite some time. Fans love it. They don't care. They want to win. Sometimes it's not the most exciting version of hockey, but when they're able to put up 4 like this, especially against a juggernaut like Vegas, it does get very exciting. So it'll be interesting. They've stolen 1. I'm not sure they can steal the whole series. To me, you need to have heavy pressure, lots of offense, lots of zone time, and a lot of game breakers like Kaprizov to go really deep into the Stanley Cup. But you never know. Minnesota went on a heck of a run at the beginning of this year, and if they get hot at the right time, they might be able to do it. On the other hand, the Vegas Golden Knights are still the Vegas Golden Knights, so I'm excited to see these guys play in Minnesota. Let me know what you think of these series and everything else down below. We will catch you guys tomorrow.